Good evening, welcome to the 8th meeting of the year. This is June 2nd, 2025. Alyssa, can you please read the publication?
In compliance with Chapter 231 of Public Law of 1975, notice of this meeting to be held at the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, has been published in the Home News Tribune on January 5th, 2025, posted on the Municipal Building Bulletin Board, the Borough website, and the front door of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River.
Roll call.
Mayor Gindi?
Here.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Here.
Councilman DeSantis?
Here.
Councilman DeZemian?
Here.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Here.
Councilman Gertenski?
Here.
Council President Seula?
Here. Please stand for a salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. We have nothing for proclamations. Agenda session for second reading. There are four that we're going to be reading off. First one is the 2025-13 with the sale of EMS equipment, which we donated to the Milltown Rescue Squad. The second one, which is the 2025-14 bamboo. Andrew, could you just
Thank you, Mayor. 2025-14, it amends your property maintenance article to regulate bamboo plantings throughout the borough. If you just want me to go on.
Yes, go ahead.
2025-15, that's an ordinance amending Chapter 108 entitled Animals that just includes your animal control officer in the enforcement of that article. 2025-16, that amends vehicles and traffic concerning Maple Street.
And then for first reading, there's going to be 4 as well, 2 for lead and 2 for bond. 5, I'm sorry. So there's actually 3. Lead.
Yeah, Mayor, if you remember, we had a presentation from the company. We're required by state law that multiple family houses have to have a lead paint inspection. This has no expense to the borough, and we have a $25 administrative fee put in that he collects and returns to the borough. It's a no-brainer. We have to do it. So.
Okay, thank you. Joe, the other 2, the bond.
Yeah, we have 2 bond ordinances, since the budget has been adopted, this is what we usually do the bond ordinance after. We have various public works trucks we're gonna buy, a salt shed, police and fire have various equipments, park improvements, roads, we're doing part of Prentice, Tyson, Cleveland, and then computer equipment we're buying. And then on the water side, it is to do a well house and other repairs in the water system.
Thank you, and Andrew, last one.
Sure, Mr. Mayor. 2025-21, that's just an ordinance authorizing an agreement pursuant to NJSA 48:20-1 at SEC for 55 Main Street.
All right, thank you. Alyssa, can you please read off 2025-13?
Ordinance 2025-13, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of various EMS equipment not needed for public use in accordance with the provisions NJSA 40A:12-21.1 to the Milltown Rescue Squad.
Motion to waive the full reading.
Second. Motion by Council President Seola, seconded by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to open it up to the public. First, second, third.
Motion to close public.
Second. Motion by Council President Seola, seconded by Councilman DeZemian.
All in favor?
Aye.
Council discussion. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Ballas. Second. Second by Councilman Krasinski.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Alyssa, 2025-14.
Ordinance 2025-14, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 258 entitled Property Maintenance.
Motion to waive the full reading. Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman Krasinski.
All in favor?
I'd like to open this to the public. First call. Is this for the ordinance, sir? Second call. Third.
Motion to close public.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Aye.
Council discussion. Do I have a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Ballas, second by Councilman Krasinski.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Alyssa, 2025-15.
Ordinance 2025-15, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code, the Borough of South River, so as to amend Chapter 108 entitled Animals.
Motion to waive the full reading.
Second. Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman Krasinski.
All in favor?
I'd like to open this to the public. First call. Second.
Motion to close public.
Motion by Council President Seola,
Second.
second by Councilman Krasinski. Council.
All in favor?
Council discussion. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Ballas, second by Councilman DeZemian.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Listen, 2025-16.
Ordinance 2025-16, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code, the Borough of South River, so as to amend Chapter 193 entitled Vehicles and Traffic.
Motion to waive the full reading.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to open this to the public. First call. Second call.
Motion to close public.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a council discussion? Do I have a motion? A motion? Alyssa, this ordinance dies?
Hearing none, the ordinance dies, you can move on to ordinances for first reading.
Alright, Alyssa, we're gonna go into ordinance, first reading 2025-17.
Ordinance 2025-17, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code, the Borough of South River, so as to amend Chapter 258 entitled Property Maintenance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2025-17 on its first reading by title only. The clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with the second reading and public hearing to be held on June the 23rd from 7 p.m. 2025, but video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Alyssa, 2025-18.
Ordinance 2025-18, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 155 of the Borough Code entitled Fees.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2025-18 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law for the second reading and public hearing to be held 7 p.m. on June the 23rd, 2025, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Alyssa, 2025-19.
Ordinance 2025-19, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements and the acquisition of various capital equipment, appropriating $1,575,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,014,682 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of South River and the County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2025-19 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law for the second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on June the 23rd, 2025, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey. Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, seconded by Councilman DeZemian.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Alyssa, 2025-20.
Ordinance 2025-20, bond ordinance providing for improvements to the water treatment storage and distribution system, appropriating $950,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of $900,000 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of South River and the County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2025-20 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law, with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on June the 23rd, 2025, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilwoman Ballas.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Alyssa, 2025-21.
Ordinance 2025-21, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, adopting the financial agreement under NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec, and authorizing tax exemption and payment in lieu of taxes with 55 Main Street, South SR Urban Renewal LLC.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2025-21 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law, with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on June 23rd, 2025, by video conference via Zoom in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman DeZemian.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
We are now going to go into reports. CME, Justin.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a brief update on all the active capital projects. The 2023 and 2024 local aid programs, we've been in touch with the contractor and he told us that they expect to be back on site to mill and pave the third week of June, approximately June 16th. We will notify all the homeowners in the borough 48 hours beforehand. The 2023 local transportation projects fund, that's for Albert Street, Franklin Street, and Ossetchee Avenue. We submitted plans and documents to the DOT and they're still under review. The 2025 local aid program for Prentice Avenue, Tice Avenue, and Cleveland Avenue, the borough received a grant and our office submitted a proposal for professional services. The 2023 electrical substation maintenance, the contractor submitted the final report. We approved it and approved the closeout change order, which is on tonight's agenda. The 2024 program will submit an RFP for same in a couple of weeks. The DEP stormwater system grant application, our survey department is currently working on this year's portion of the project and they're making progress. And then last, the 2026 local aid application is due on July 1st, 2025. Our office submitted a proposal for professional services associated with the same, and the borough will need to select 3 roads for these for the improvements. So we'll work with Public Works and the borough to determine those roads. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, anything for CME? Joe?
Just 2 things. First one is there's a resolution for repairs at the Jackson Street Pump Station that's under co-op agreement. It's over the bid threshold, so we have to do a resolution. And then resolution to hire all the summer rec employees. That's it.
Council, anything for Joe? Gage?
Yes, Mayor. On Saturday, June 28th, we're having our shred event from 9 a.m. to 12 down at the DPW yard. So bring your stuff down and have it shredded.
Anything for Adrian?
Is there a limit on how many they can bring to the shred? Because I know some have a limit
No,
like 5.
this is our own. It's
What
not
about
through the
outside?
county, so.
There's no limit.
Fire Chief Smith?
Thank you, Mayor. You'll see resolution 179, which is asking for authorization for 2 fund drives for the fire department, 1 in June and 1 in July. That's all I have.
Anything for Chief? Andrew?
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alyssa?
Just that the primary election will be on June 10th. Early voting starts on June 3rd to June 8th. Tuesday through Saturday, it's gonna be from 10 to 8, and Sunday, it's gonna be 10 to 6. And the closest location to us would be the East Brunswick Community Center or the Sayreville Senior Center to early vote. And that's it.
Thank you. Art?
Mayor, thank you. I have a couple of updates. First of all, we're down to the last 10% of the water meter project. I can only urge the residents who haven't had their meters changed out, please do, because the next step would be that you would receive a summons to go to court, because we do have an ordinance that says we're entitled to access to the meters to get this done. So we're down to, like I said, less than 10%. The next thing is the battery project is on schedule. As you can see, the new fence is up, all the equipment is in. It's almost completed on wiring, and we'll be doing testing in the next couple of weeks. We'll be ready for July 1st to add the additional battery equipment onto the project. And the next thing I have is we had a meeting on the water main project. I can report that most of the survey's been done. They're gonna finish the rest of the survey in July. The test pit excavations are 40% complete. They were going out today to examine all the test pits again. They're having some settling due to all the rain, so they'll add more, so there's not any potholes. On the bill list today is a check for $5,000 to the iBank for the application. We're almost in the process of getting that to the iBank. And design is 50% done. And that is all we have on the water main project. And on the resolutions, Resolution 175 is authorizing execution of software product. That's software for the code enforcement officer that's going to allow her to use a tablet instead of having to handwrite everything and bring us up to the 21st century with that. The next one is authorizing the award of a contract, LEW Environmental, that's for the lead testing. Joe went over the pumping services one, and the other one is 187. We are authorizing execution of professional services agreement with Rutgers. We are required to have an employee assistance program. The new JIF we belong to does not pay for that, so the borough is required to pay for that, just like the testing for CDL drivers. That's it.
All right, thank you. That's it, Laura.
I just wanted to bring up, is there any update on what's happening with the Elks property? Because I'm getting,
Yeah, I know, and believe it, we have issued multiple summonses, and they don't show up in court, and it's not, the court basically says it has to be a life safety issue for them to issue a bench warrant. But we're just to the point where we're issuing summonses. Don't really wanna get the borough to take care of it, because then it's gonna be a lien, and the person who owns that property already is not paying taxes on some of the other properties he's owning. So we know about it, we were very upset, the condition it was for the parade and all that. Yeah,
well, not only
all we
the
can do
people-
is write summonses.
because people living behind also, they're getting all the
Started
little
infringing on
creatures
people's-
and stuff's starting to grow into their yards.
I agree.
All right, Councilman Krasinski?
Thank you, Mayor. The Office on Aging. Actually, this, let's see, Monday, June 30th, we're gonna have country line dancing. So that event is $1 recommended for a contribution and everything too. Where it's going to be, I'm not sure. I think it may be at 55 Main Street. Depending on how many people they have coming. The New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission mobile unit is fully booked. There's nothing, I believe they are going to try to see if they can get another sign up. But right now, the unit that they have is totally filled. There is a free bone density screening that's coming to the Office on Aging. That will be on June 19th. You have to schedule for an appointment and transportation is available. And you must sign up again today. Let's see, of course, DPW said they are gonna have a residential paper shred. That's coming Saturday on June 28th from 9 to 12, and that's the township. And the Office on Aging is making appointments available for members who qualify for the requirement of assistance. And this is for the New Jersey Property Tax Credit Program update. There's a lot of features that some of the people don't understand, but this includes everything with the PTR and the Anchor program, and also the Senior Freeze. So if you have any questions or if or any concerns about the matter and everything too, and you wanted to speak to someone, make an appointment with the Office on Aging. And that phone number is 732-257-2340. With that, that's all I have, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ballas.
Yeah, well, and actually she just wanted, I wanted to thank Teresa Hutchison and the members of the Cultural Arts and Heritage Commission on the terrific job you did on planning and coordinating the Memorial Day Parade. It was a great turnout by the people of South River, cheering us on and everything. It really was nice. I also want to thank the Police and Fire Department, the VFW, the American Legion, all the organizations that participated, and the marching bands. And again, thank you to the town who came out. It made it very special that we could remember all the fallen heroes in town. And again, thank you and your team, you did a great job. And for the library summer reading kickoff is June 24th. The theme for summer reading is Color Your World. They are also planning some events such as Eyes of the Wild, Didgeridoo, and a bubble party. They are also teaming up with Rutgers Behavioral Health for 5 programs which are all free, including tie-dye and sensory power hour. Again, these, go to their website and find out all the wonderful programs they have. And their Juneteenth program will be on June 17th at 6:30 p.m. at the library. That's all I have.
Councilman DeZemian.
Thank you, Mayor. I echo what Donna says about the parade and all the organizations that put that together. It was a very fun day and very well organized. Working with Adam on the website of the borough, you will now notice that there is a new tab where if you click on it, it has the current info on borough projects that we're currently working on, like roads to be paved, park improvements, and some other areas. The tab is at the top of the website, and it's called Projects Blog. It'll be updated as quickly as possible when status changes to these projects. This will allow residents to get a quick update on current borough projects, and we will put additions to it. It's something that's just not what's there. It's the only thing that'll be there in the future. It'll be a work in progress to give the residents an update of all the different areas as best as we can to keep them up on the current status. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman DeSantis.
Board of Education update. On May 22nd, I attended the school curriculum fair. All school buildings were utilized to showcase programs being offered and student projects and artwork were on display. Also included were live performances and a petting zoo at Denny Stadium. The event was very well organized and a great representation of the Board of Education's continued commitment to our children. The event was well attended despite the rainy weather. That same night at the monthly Board of Ed meeting was the swearing in of a new board member, Uche Onwuduwe, who's taking over the vacated term, so he'll be up for election for the 2-year term at the end of the year. High school graduation is scheduled for Thursday, June 19th on the football field at 6 p.m. weather permitting. And the next public Board of Ed meeting is Monday, June 16th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. For the Recreation Advisory Board, Pop Warner football and cheer registration is currently open. Football for ages 5 through 13 and cheer for ages 3 through 14, and that is your age as of July 31st of 2025. You can visit the borough website for more details to register. Go to www.southrivernj.org, click Departments, then Parks and Recreation, and you'll see a link to enroll. And if you have any issue online, you can call the office at 732-254-4412. The next Recreation Advisory Board meeting will be next Tuesday, June 10th at 6:30 p.m. at 55 Reed Street. And residents are welcome and encouraged to attend.
Thank you. Councilman Janikopoulos.
Yes, Mayor. Last month I attended the Water Resource Association meeting in New Brunswick, and we talked about the water runoff and what the county is doing for rainwater runoff management. And during the meeting, they made us aware that there will be a something for free, that people in Middlesex County can go to the Lower Raritan Watershed Partnership. It's 101 Raritan Avenue in Highland Park. And they do free boat building every Wednesday in June and July from 6 to 8 p.m. That's every Wednesday, so if you want to, that's a Middlesex County thing. And then also, just in case anyone missed it, there was a fishing derby here at Daly's Pond this last weekend. And if you attended, I heard we had pretty good weather, the rain didn't come, so it was well attended. And the pond is stocked, so if you're into fishing, you know, we have fish here in town that you could do that. And the Environmental and Shade Tree Commission is having a meeting this coming Thursday, June 5th, down at 48 Washington. If anyone wants to attend, it's a public meeting. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Council President?
Thank you, Mayor. Real quick, again, the EDC, Economic Development, they had their get-together. Some businesses did show up. I was very disappointed that many of the businesses in town didn't show up. There was a lot of very useful information given out that night. And it's a shame because it could definitely help the businesses in town with grants and low interest loans. So again, when the EDC has this and the state is there, please come to it. It's gonna benefit you as a business in town. We have businesses opening up that were overwhelmed about this information. They loved it and just trying to get it out to every business in town. So please, stay alert. The invitations are mailed out to each business in town. So stay alert on that. That's all I have.
Thank you. I'll hold mine. I would like to open it to the public. You got 5 minutes. Please state your name and your address.
Good evening, Teresa Hutchinson, 38 Virginia Street. I thank you for the thank yous for the parade. I chair Cultural Arts and Heritage Commission. We have a whole group of people working on this parade the day after the previous parade, and a lot of people are in this room right now will help us. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody. Of course, Cultural Arts on my commission, along with me as our vice chair, Peter Barner. We also have our members, Stephanie Finley, our fire chief, Smith. We have Robin Presak. We have Randy Lundy and a couple of other folks. But the folks I just mentioned were the folks that worked real hard on this parade. The borough administration works real hard with us, and as I said, they're in this room right now. And just a big thank you to everybody. I wanted to also thank real quickly our sponsors for supporting us. And they are this year Cyclavan Unlimited on William Street, G&S Lawn Service on Whitehead, Gold Star on Whitehead, Musso Quality Construction on Grove, Miller Pipeline. Their main office is in Indianapolis. The Portuguese Club, we're expecting a donation from them. The Portuguese Fishermen and T-Rated Trucking. Just want to thank all the sponsors, and again, it couldn't happen without this borough pitching in and helping us. So just a big thank you to everybody. And again, thank you for respecting our fallen heroes. And that's really what the 26 was all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
My name is Barry Grill. I live at 20 Monticello Way. And my big concern now is the closing of Collins Drive into Monticello Way. It's a disaster. The main thing for us is the 4 reasons I want to talk about: safety, cost, time, and the environment. Safety. The nearest fire truck is the Summit fire truck. It's coming from the west. It adds up to 1 mile of extra driving. That's 2 minutes at 30 miles an hour. The ambulance service, Robert Wood Johnson is the township provider. They come from New Brunswick. And they coming from 18, they're coming from the west. That adds 2 minutes to it. This is unacceptable. People die in less than 2 minutes. Okay? And then I started looking at it what my cost was. My direct cost for this clothing is about $280 a year. And I said, well, let me think a little bit more and ask my neighbors. So I wound up asking 39 people representing 28 households. Everybody wants that street open, two-way. Only one person came out and said, two-way or no way. That's the only no that I got out of anybody. So that's a 100%. We got 150 houses, 300 cars. Roughly 300 plus cars in the neighborhood. If you take 75 trips a day using that street, 365 days a year, you wind up with 27,300 trips a year, or roughly over 13,500 miles. Put it blankly, that's over 3,000 pounds of gas, which is going to hit the environment. I don't know how much carbon dioxide that makes, but if you ask someone who had suffered from asthma, they would have it. I'm sorry I came late. I know this was passed, but everybody was complacent and basically cost. If you have 70 cents a mile, which I don't know if you could operate your car, maybe about 20 cars that you could operate at 70 cents a mile, depreciation and all that. You know, it's over $9,000 we're spending. And the kick in the pants is, we're spending $9,000 for a street that we paid for when we bought the houses. I think that's, what do you call that? Boondoggle? $9,000 for a street that was closed to us. That's just one way. Time? I calculated something like about 450 hours. And if you put a dollar amount, that's over $10,000. I mean, this if you put a dollar amount. That's like over $19,000 that you're losing in time-wise and all. $25 we're willing to pay the taxes to keep you in the house. These are all 4-bedroom, 2-car garage houses, up-end houses. So then I'll also look at it. The way it was, you had 300 feet of street, a piece of Collins Drive into into Monticello. You know, if I told you, oh, it's a one-way street, but it's a two-way street, everybody looks at you, that's an oxymoron. To say the least, it's a contradictory terms, or it's very ambiguous. My solution was either make Collins Drive all one way, which is not the perfect way because you're going to get a lot of complaints from neighbors. You're still going to get complaints. But the cheapest benefit and the cheapest way to go is to have that open to two-way traffic. That'll save us over $18,000 of direct cost to us. There'll be a slight cost to the residents of Collins Drive, 4th Avenue, 5th Avenue, Terry, Grant. I estimate something like maybe 10 hours of time waiting in your driveway for a car to pass. And that's about all I have. Any questions?
No? Thank you. I appreciate
And
it.
we'll have to get let me ask you, should I get a petition? I mean, I know I can get 200 signatures with no problem at all.
Listen, time is up, but I'm gonna leave you this little thought. When I did my homework on Collin Drive, the original plans show Collin Drive being closed. The only reason it was open was during the actual construction. So after the construction was completed, Collin Drive was left open when it should have been closed based on the original plans. So that was never supposed to be open, ever.
Well, it's still kind of a safety hazard.
So I'm happy you brought up the safety. So in literally less than 2 months worth of time, I have well over 300 videos showing people doing one way, and I have 2 videos of people going both ways and going head on. So, listen, I know what your safety is. I'm not gonna get into it, because I had this huge argument with Monticello Way, Charter Drive, all that area, but here's where my problem is. When you expect that road to be a one-way, and you have kids playing on Collin Drive, and you have a car coming the opposite way with no regards to the people, there's my safety. My safety goes with the kids and their environment and their residents. So I understand what you're saying, but unfortunately, it does not pan out. And just for the record, every single time we do get a fire call, our firefighters, the first call, 98%, I did my work on it, was coming out of Jackson Street before someone even showed up. So that means Ladder Tower and Reliable would show up to a call first before someone even showed up.
What about the ambulance?
Ambulance has 34 seconds less. 34 seconds, based on Robert Wood Johnson's stats.
How do you do 34 seconds?
Because because when we called up, when we decided we're gonna chase this concept of shutting down Collin, we went to emergency management first and asked, will this be a problem? So I understand where your concern is, but unfortunately, I have to worry about the residents is my first priority. I understand where your concern is,
Well,
but
you know residents. You
listen,
got 500 people in Heritage Landing,
and
and they were thrown under the bus. for
they're not,
safety.
your safety was the road was never supposed to be open, period. It's in the
Why did
plan.
they build it? I mean, the reason, they built it for some reason.
They used it for a no, sorry, I got this. They used it for a service road only. It wasn't supposed to be open,
I mean,
period.
yeah, they should have put a house on it. I mean, this was planned by the
Listen.
planning board to put it in there.
And the planning board
And they
actually
would have
says,
made $50,000
listen,
instead.
planning board actually says it's a service road and it's supposed to be closed. I agree with you, but unfortunately, it cannot even be a two-way road because you have a residence house and you have trees coming on the left side of the Collin Drive. So unfortunately, I understand your concern. But what happened was everybody got so used to something that was wrong. That's where the problem started. So I understand your concern, I take it, I get it. It's a convenience rather than the word safety. If I could fix the problem, I would, but unfortunately, it cannot be fixed. I'm sorry, sir, like, I agree with you.
It can be fixed. It was going to be,
Like I said, if it could be fixed, I would, but it cannot.
well, I mean, they create basically it's a big boondoggle. I mean, we paid for the road.
You didn't pay for the road.
Sure you did.
No, actually, you didn't, sir.
Who paid for the road?
No,
The builder paid for the road, and who paid for the building?
he paid for a service road that was supposed to be closed. It's on the plans. I researched it before I decided to pull this trick off. I know where you're coming from, but everyone got used to something that was wrong.
In the 34 seconds that Robert Wood Johnson, I don't know how you could do a mile. That's over 120 miles an hour. Someplace you
I'm
can do
just telling you.
120 miles an hour in the street to do 1 mile.
All right, I really, Mr. Barry, I
Thank you.
really understand, and I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Anyone else for,
Hello, Council Mayor. My name is Evan Perez. I live at 64 Whitehead Avenue. I'm also the co-owner of Nurturing Leaves. I think the council president mentioned about businesses, so actually my subject is to touch a little bit upon this. It's actually about another committee, but I do want to share it publicly with my experience as a resident trying to open a business here in South River. So really want to just say I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you guys tonight. Just to give you a little background, I submitted my application, went to the TRC meeting, got feedback there. Out of the meeting, we were supposed to have a walk through the property. We followed up various times, my attorney, my architect, also someone from the municipality followed up trying to get this scheduled, and we heard no responses for a month. So to me, I just want to make sure I'm going on record that I'm doing everything I can by following up, but I also need the borough to do its part and follow up just to even acknowledge something's going on. Because before, when I reached out to Andrea, she's done a terrific job just getting back to me, saying, hey, I'll get back to you next week, but we have no responses, so we don't know actually what's being required or what's being asked of nurturing leaves. So that's a concern to me. Basically, I had something, we were supposed to be scheduled for tomorrow to be part of TRC, but I was informed that we're not on it. But then when I asked what were the requirements, what are they looking for, no one can tell me. So it makes it very difficult for me to action items when I don't know what items are required.
I'm sorry to cut you off, I was at the last TRC meeting, and they gave you a bunch of questions and requirements. I sat in there.
And what was the request from Bruce?
Unfortunately, I don't recall.
So the
I
request,
know there's quite a few things.
right, the
Like-
first,
Like the side door, the back, the paving, the security, the fence, the dumpsters. I recall certain things.
right, and after that, because people were not familiar with the location, because they were saying parts weren't paved, other parts were, because no one has actually been to the site, because there actually has been pavement to the front, and there's actually been work done on the side because of the construction. That was why Bruce had suggested that everyone do a walkthrough, which we were more than happy to do to understand exactly, because the first issue you mentioned was the lighting. They did talk about lighting, when they found out the city owned the lighting, then it became pavement, then it became a tree. So my question to Todd, because he was raising this, what is it exactly do they want? Because it went from lighting, then I heard he's not wanting lighting. Also, there was confusion what was being told to my attorney versus the architect. So I would just like follow up to understand if the meeting's actually gonna happen, the walkthrough, because that was a request from the town.
Right, well, I will reach out to you tomorrow, I'll find out exactly what's going on with this walkthrough.
Yeah, I appreciate it, it's just communication, that way, you know, I think act upon it, but I think timely responses are also appropriate, not a month later. I just wanted to share that with the town, my experience, so if we're trying to make it easier for businesses to open, this is the experience of a resident, that I've been submitting everything you guys have requested on a timely basis, and I don't get a response from the borough. Okay. Thank you for your time.
You'll hear from me tomorrow.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Ed Trimer, 44 Third Street. So I was looking through the agenda and I noticed that the 45 unit apartment complex next door, we're giving them a 30-year tax abatement. Which made me think you're also gonna probably give away the street parking for the permits. And then I started thinking like, they were short a bunch of parking spots, so you sold them spots in the municipal lot. Which, my understanding is the lot's pretty full. Like there are 64 permit spots in the lot. And the last time I got an official count of how many permits were issued, there was 161 permits issued. So that's a lot. That's well over 100%. So then I remembered there's a Main Street parking strategy that was developed by our planner and adopted by the planning board and adopted by the council. And I went down there and I looked at it, and there's a few things in here that just caught my attention. I want to state them and then ask a couple questions afterwards. So there's a section here that says to ensure when parking permits are sold to a purchaser, that the parking utility has a policy in place to verify that a realistic opportunity for parking is available in a municipal parking lot. Then another section that's titled Principles to Guide Borough Leaders in Making Decisions on Parking Issues. It says the parking utility should adopt a permit limit policy to guide the number of parking permits sold relative to the number of parking spaces available. This should be between 1 space to 1.7% or 1 space to 2% ratio, depending on the composition of permit purchasers. So we're well above that, unless of course there's been some sort of change to the amount of permits issued. One of my concerns is, I've been to, when I was on the zoning board, a couple of these issues came up, and it seemed as though the boards were unaware of how many permits were issued in the parking lot or how many spots were available. And I was recently at the land use board when they approved, this 45-unit apartment next door that they're giving the tax abatement to. And they also seem to be unaware that the parking lot is pretty full, but they went ahead and issued parking permits for it. And I know with more development coming in, I'm concerned that I won't be able to find a parking spot someday when I come to work, because there's gonna be just permits issued like crazy. On top of the people that park there illegally, and it should be, we're gonna get to that later. So, my thing is, does the borough have a policy to verify that a realistic opportunity for parking is available? And if you do have a policy, I was wondering how I could get a copy of that to review it. Because I'm sure there must be a policy. I mean, this is from back in 2018. So by now we should have had a policy. Do you have a policy?
Andrew, can you please look into this, please?
Absolutely.
Also, there should be a permit policy about the amount of permits issued. And the reason I'm asking the council is because I don't have any problems with the professionals in town. Because you guys are the policy makers. Everything comes down from here. And I'm sure they're not just willy-nilly. I mean, if it came down from the council and said, hey, here's the policy you want to follow, I'm sure they would follow. I have no doubt that they would follow whatever policy you guys have. So I'm concerned that maybe there isn't a policy, that maybe you're not providing guidance to the land use boards when these sort of issues come up. I mean, the land use board should have guidance from the council so that when they issue variances for parking for these buildings, that they're not going to interfere with the existing businesses that are here, because we need to build from what we have. We don't want to just out with the old in with the new, right? We don't want to just, hey, we hate these old buildings, we hate the old businesses, Yahoo, we're excited that new people will come in. So that's my concern. I'd like to see if we have these policies, I'd like to, if I have to put an over request, I'm sure,
Well, we're gonna look into it for you.
right. So, like I say, it's come from you guys, you're policy makers, maybe not this particular council. But if the other councils haven't done it, no. I'd like to see you guys do it, because we just can't keep going on the way it is. I mean, if you're downtown, it's pretty bad down there. So many people have experienced it, I've shown it to you. And one last thing, we can just take the parking downtown a little seriously.
We're gonna be working on the policy.
Okay, because I have some other statistics about the amount of annual sales a parking spot generates for the businesses. So we take it serious, or more serious, I'm not sure.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Anyone else for public? First call? Second call?
Motion to close public.
Second.
Motion by Council President Seola, second by Councilman Krasinski.
All in favor?
Aye. We have nothing for mayoral appointments, consent resolutions, Alyssa.
Whereas Resolution 2025-01 authorizes the Borough Council to utilize a consent agenda to adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time. Now therefore be it is hereby resolved that the below listed resolutions are hereby adopted by the Borough Council in whole, as if the same were individually acted upon. Consent resolutions 2025-169 to 2025-187. 169, authorizing the requisition of funds for payment to the custodian of the school monies. 170, approval of a special events permit to the Portuguese Club for an event to be held on June 7, 2025. 171, authorizing fireworks display by South River Recreation on August 22nd, 2025. 172, authorize 2025 salaries of certain employees and officials. 173, resolution appointing Kara Porty as full-time dispatcher. 174, appointment of recreation department positions. 175, authorizing the execution of a software product agreement. 176, authorizing the award of a contract with Blue Environmental Services LLC. 177, authorizing the purchase of a vehicle for the Office of Emergency Management. 178, granting renewal to ABC licenses for the 25-26 license year. 179, authorizing the South River Fire Department to conduct a boot drive. 180, authorize certain utility refunds. 181, authorizing a purchasing contract with Pumping Services Incorporated. 182, authorizing permanent status for a police dispatcher. 183, accept May 5th, 2025 regular and executive session minutes. 184, authorize the bills and claims list. 185, authorizing pay estimate number 3 and closeout change order for Willett Avenue Substation. 186, approval of a special events permit to the Durrell Arkham School for an event to be held on June 6, 2025. 187, authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Rutgers.
What is your motion?
Move the resolution.
Motion by Councilwoman Ballas,
Second.
second by Councilman DeSantis.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman DeSantis?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Janikopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes, with the abstention from 179 and on 184, 25-00486, 01275, and 01413.
We're gonna go into council comments, start with Councilman Janikopoulos,
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
Councilman DeSantis,
Nothing tonight.
Councilman DeZemian.
Thank you, Mayor. St. Peter and Paul Church, Orthodox Church on Whitehead Avenue, will be having a spaghetti dinner along with an Elvis impersonator show on Saturday, July 12th. Dinner starts at 7 p.m., dinner starts at 6 p.m., show starts at 7:30 in the church hall on Jeffrey Avenue. Tickets are $35 and it's BYOB. And you can also get your dinner to go and not see the show. Cost is $20. And you can visit the church's website, St. Peter and Paul. Has a website that it's on there, or you can contact myself for additional information and a ticket. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Ballas?
This Saturday will be the Portuguese flag raising. That usually starts, do they do that at 10 or they start at
11.
It starts at 11, so I guess rain or shine, it's this Saturday at Daly's Pond, the gazebo side where the flag is. To all of you up here, happy Father's Day. We'll be this till then. Flag Day is the 14th, don't forget to, raise your flag with pride. The first day of summer's coming up, so be careful. The children are really busy on their little scooters. Yeah, today got a little too close because they just go down the middle of the street and I'm afraid for them. They really have to be careful, you have to be careful with them. The bicycles, the scooters, whatever they can zip around town, they will, so just be careful. And a reminder, please curb your animals. I live up by the school. The children don't appreciate when they get out of their cars, either their parents that the kids step in whatever's left on their way to school, so I guess they have that souvenir for the whole day. So just curb your dogs, it's not just by the school, I think it's in pretty much every, and we do have a leash law now, correct? Many loose dogs in this town, so there is a leash law now, so you can't get fined for not having a dog on a leash. There's no,
How long is the leash?
I don't know how long is a leash.
How long?
That's a good question.
Is it 5 feet?
Oh, you're talking about a retractable one,
Or just say, how far can the dog go out?
I don't know what it is.
I don't think,
I think it's just to have them on a leash.
Off the top of my head, I do not know what your ordinance says, but we can look that up and send it to you.
Thank you.
And just be careful out there, everybody. Thank you.
Councilman Krasinski.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank all our public service workers, police, fire, especially our DPW, Robert Wood Johnson. And I'd also like to thank the town for the Memorial Day Parade. Many of the veterans and everything like that too. The most important part of the day is in the morning when we pay tribute to those that have gone before us. Also, if any of the families has a veteran and their marker is damaged in some way or other, please contact the VFW or the American Legion, and we'll give you a replacement for your loved one. Happy Father's Day coming up. With that, watch out for the kids. Weather's getting warmer. That's for sure. And you still take care. Thank you.
Council President.
Just to reiterate, the kids are out, they're on the scooters, they're on the bicycles, just please stay alert. Do not text on the phone while you're trying to drive. Keep your eyes on the road and watch out for the kids, because they're coming right down the middle of the streets, they're not stopping in intersections. It's a little crazy, so please be careful. That's it.
Thank you. All right. So, first of all, I want to thank Fire Chief Bill Smith for bringing this to my attention. This Thursday, June 5th, at the library between 6:30 and 7:30, the fire prevention poster artwork is going to be displayed. Please come out and support the kids that put up a very nice art. From what I'm being told, they went over and beyond. So please come out to the library this Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30. I'd also like to welcome a new business that me and, Council President and myself had the opportunity to do the ribbon cutting this Saturday, which is located on Ferry Street, which is called Sacred Ink Gallery. Although it's a tattoo parlor, they also do art. And the art inside was so remarkable. The murals, the paintings. You need to go and look at this place. You don't believe it, but it's right here in your own backyard. So please support the new business. Code enforcement. They are now going out on the weekends. Take care of your house. Cut your grass. Don't do anything without a permit. They're gonna get caught. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be and they're not gonna be nice about it. So do the right thing. Go to the town, do what you have to do with your permits. Police department. This weekend I had probably a good half a dozen calls, all on the same exact thing. Over parking, loud music, people yelling. Don't hide behind the phone for social media. Call the police department. As many times as you have to, you call them, whether it's during the day or if it's at night. There is a noise ordinance. There is proper parking. Please call the police department. They're there for you. Regardless of how many times it is, you're not bothering them. They may have other calls, they're gonna come out. They're gonna come, they're gonna do what they have to do. We recently got a grant, possibly of $200,000, which is gonna be given to, or is gonna be going to the Veterans Park, which is gonna give us a new football field and bleachers. So we're looking forward to another grant, hopefully, Varga. So look out for that, another grant that this administration has done. June 10th is the primary. Every vote counts. Please support. Go out, find your polling area, cast your vote. And last, happy Father's Day to all. I know it's not easy. And always watch out for those kids. They're out now with scooters, skateboards, running, bicycles. You never know when they're gonna jump out in the middle of the street, so please be aware, drive the speed limit, if possible, even drive slower. I appreciate it. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Ballas, second by Councilman Sands.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.